Ready to make a real impact every day? Join the Active Day Home Care team and help clients maintain their independence in the comfort of their own homes. Make a difference in someone's life as you provide essential daily assistance and protect their health and happiness. Earn up to $20 an hour and enjoy additional perks like optional daily pay, 401k, paid time off, ongoing educational training, and more. Join a team that values care, compassion, and your professional growth. Visit activeday.com to apply.
Stop right there. Yeah, you. If you like all things entertainment, current events, or Hollywood, then look no further. Creator to Creators, hosted by director Meosha of Horror Noir, interviews filmmakers and creatives from around the world. Join in on the fun, guest celebrities, and informative information to have as a creator. Hit subscribe and stay connected to Creator to Creators.
Hey guys, welcome to Creator to Creators today. Today we have a special guest.
Bonjour, hello, what's happening? Jenna Suru, by the way, for those who didn't know, this is my name. This is it, Jenna Suru from Paris.
Thank you for coming on the show.
Thank you for having me.
Of course. I love to start with every guest. From the beginning. I always say the beginning is, how you start your trajectory of your life and where your life goes from there. Tell me a little bit about your childhood. Where were you born, and what was your childhood like growing up?
Ooh, interesting question. I was born in a small city near Paris called Orsay. And I grew up in the suburbs of Paris, so mysterious. Like I was really lucky because I started theater classes when I was 8. I was a little bored at school, and I was this kind of child who would, read a lot and just like kind of be ready for more. So I was really lucky because I found my way to theater classes really early in my life, and it kind of started from there, I guess.
That's awesome. So you started super early. That's great. And the love for the entertainment just swept you away from then. Were your parents supportive of your career choice?
Well, as a child, I actually I found myself doing, this is going to be a great show. I can already feel that. Like I've never, ever thought about that before, ever. I already feel this is going to be special. It's going to be unique. When I was 3 years old, so literally, like when you're 3 years old, you're like a baby, right? Like literally a child.
Yeah.
I found myself, I don't even know how or why it happened, but I did a little bit of modeling for a brand which is really famous in France, which is called Petit Bateau. It's like the very nice branché brand for your little ones. So I remember I was 3, and it's funny because Petit Bateau means literally little boat. Oh. So I remember my first memories ever, I was walking on, like their, how do you call that? Like their catwalk stage?
Yes.
And it's funny because I have these memories of like flashes and photographs, and the only thing I really remember aside of that, all the photographers, is I desperately wanted to like not walk on the catwalk. I would walk on the side of the catwalk because it had sand, because the theme was basically the sea and boat. So
nice.
Yeah, this is my first memory ever. I mean, so it kind of started from there. I'm sure it had an impact on my everything I'm doing now, because you mentioned entertainment. So
yeah, That's awesome. So modeling, that makes sense. Well, I mean, you're absolutely beautiful, so that's great. That's awesome.
Oh, yes.
Very, very
You're
cool.
flattering me. You're flattering. I kind of started when I was 3, but I guess I retired from it when I was 4, but I mean, this is it. This is the deal. This is how it started for me.
Wow, that's awesome. When did like for me, I always say like I started doing behind the camera, doing I went to film school for camera for cinematography, and then I got into the directing. I believe
Mm.
that as you get older and just time, I think that you just want to do multiple. I mean, like why limit yourself to one thing? What came after that? What was like the next thing for you? What was your next step in your chapter in your life after
For
modeling and
sure.
stuff?
For sure. I cannot agree with you more because, like starting with acting, theater,
Mm,
stage, and then from my little suburb school, started theater in Paris at one of the renowned schools in Paris, which is called Cours Florent. And what happened is that as I started to get into, like more advanced theater acting and improv and all that kinds of things, they advised me to go to LA to study acting there. And I studied at this amazing school right by the Chaplin Studios on La Brea.
nice.
So very nice. And oh my, I learned so much because what I love in America is that when you study acting, well, at least where I studied,
Mm,
we also learned about directing and,
hmm.
like, as you say, cinematography, but like literally all the anything you need to know as an actor, but like really like a large spectrum. And
Yeah.
from that, I was advised to pursue the more business side of things because as an actor, you're supposed to also know about like marketing yourself and yourself as a,
Yeah.
which is very smart and makes so much sense. So what happened is that I really I pursued that and I did this I graduated from this amazing European media school, which is one of the very top in the world. It's called ESCP, and I studied media management and creativity marketing there in Paris and in London.
Mm,
And I really love that you mentioned cinematography because after started things off with the more art and management sides of things, the first thing I wanted to do when I started like career was basically cinematography. First
ah,
internship, Panavision, like I was so lucky because everyone was so generous and I got my hands on all the cameras including
nice.
35 millimeter, and so I really appreciate you mentioned that.
Nice.
It's about collaboration. It takes a lot of skills, really. Cinema is tough love, you need to go for it.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. Yes, for I can't imagine like being a woman too, right? Like just finding your way in such man-driven, kind of industry, with I mean with me when I went to film school, I was around, working a lot in Los Angeles, I was around a lot of men. I didn't really see too many women doing cinematography, but when I did see them, I'm like, oh, whew, okay, we're out here. We're doing this. Like,
I
all
know,
right.
terrible. It's
Yeah.
rough. It's rough.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
rough. I love it. I kind of love it. It's like especially as I mentioned, like this was very very earlier in my career, and I was really lucky because I worked with the best people, especially as you say in the technical departments. It's very male. There are many males in those departments, and they were so generous because while I was working there, I learned so much from them, and I'm very thankful, because it's like, when you start learning art and management, having people like the most amazing professionals actually not just teach you and tell you about this stuff, but also, share their passion with you, showing you the most renowned and oldest cameras and giving you tips. And it fascinated me. And this passion, I just kept growing, and passion is so important.
Yes, 100%. Very, very much so. I think if you don't, if it's something if you're not passionate about the thing that you love doing, you're not going to do it. It's going to be miserable going to work. So when passion's behind it, I believe that it's exciting. It'll never go away. Like the love for what we do in the entertainment business. I think that's, yeah, for me, it's definitely a passion and a love for sure. Like do you see yourself doing anything else?
I I I always love to say that I have like a hidden passion for music.
Okay.
I love music, and I think as a filmmaker, like, and especially probably as a director,
Yes.
It's really important, and even a writer, because I'm mostly a writer director now.
Nice.
It's very important to also nurture over passions, because you're trying to share something really special about something or someone. So it's about storytelling, and you need to know about life. You need to know about what's going on and be able to connect with your audiences. So it's not just about cinema. There is also some form of nurturing connections and stories.
Yeah.
So yes and no. I this is my world. This is my life, for obviously. But it's very important to stay curious, humble, and keep connecting.
Yeah. I'm curious. You've done a lot. I looked you up. You have a lot of work out there. A lot of work. I mean, I was like, wow, bowing down. It's impressive. It's impressive.
I gave it my best shot so far,
Oh, you're doing great. You're doing fantastic. You're doing fantastic. I'm just curious, along in your journey, has there been any doubts with it, like anything? And if there were doubts, how did you find yourself how did you talk yourself out of those things?
I think I'm gonna say this. I think earlier you mentioned childhood, and like, I think originally I was convinced hard work and knowledge was key, and I was correct, right? Knowledge is very important, experience is key, and all of this is power. I realize today that probably what really shaped and still is shaping me is the amazing professionals and people I've worked with. I think you mentioned your work and your career in the cinematography department. I think all of those elements, all of those métiers, as we say in France, are extremely important. And of course, knowledge is important, and knowledge and experience give you respect too. So, you mentioned being a female. I don't call myself a female filmmaker. Obviously, I think what I was doing from an early stage was making sure I knew, and I worked very hard, because this is what makes you better, and also enables you to share, manage a team, and just share a vision, and just create your vision, and stay curious. And I think this also enabled me to share the passion of cinema with the most amazing people, and that I really, really realized later how much of a difference for me it's making, because we are together trying to share something really unique through a film, and when the film is over, there's a new film which starts, and this is a very interesting industry. We are all in this together. We are all evolving also in a world that is constantly changing, that is really challenging and competitive. And it's also nurturing my vision to do my best to help somehow shape the future of storytelling and tell new stories, bring a new vision, as we're all trying to do. So it's exciting.
Yeah, that's awesome. No, absolutely. Very exciting for sure. As I mentioned before, that you've created several projects and short form and feature projects. I did get to see a trailer, but I didn't get to see the movie yet, which I will watch. I promise you. The Golden Age. The trailer
Take
looks
your time.
phenomenal.
Take your time. Get ready for romance and comedy and both together. All set in the 60s.
That's amazing. I can't wait to watch it. But where did that come from? Like it just looks it's beautiful. I see you're in it, you're acting, you look amazing. I was like, wow, look, I love it. And you're dancing in the movie. Like I love it.
Oh yes. Oh yes.
Tell me a little bit about it, about this film.
Where did it come from? That's a good question. Good questions, Meosha. I mean, I have no idea. I think where did it come from? I think what happened is I fell in love with a village which is called Saint-Tropez, which is not very famous, but in the 60s it was still a small fishing harbor. So I was extremely excited to tell this story, boy meets girl, but except it's American boy meets French girl, and literally nothing happens as you expected. Nothing. So it's interesting, and I don't know, like, it's so funny because at the end of the summer last year, the film you're mentioning it was screening at Cinequest, Academy World Qualifying Cinequest, and I was so scared. I was like, oh my, I'm in California. Come on, with the French subtitles, like it's gonna be a night. No one is gonna like get it, because it's I mean, it's the late. We stole 2 spotlight slots, and I was like, I was so nervous because I don't know. I felt this is such a massive festival. Yeah. I mean, Academy Award qualifying, so respected in the industry. And what I really loved is that the audience at the screenings really was the audience I wrote the film for. So basically, amazing 20s, in their 20s, branché, young, like young folks, and 50 years plus francophile, sophisticated generation. Nice. It was beautiful to see, and everyone laughed all throughout, which is good, because it's supposed to be a comedy. Okay. So it's good. Even me, I was like realizing, because there's a lot of subtext. It's just, I wrote the film for internationals in America, and in prior to the pandemic, we screened as opening night at the Genesis Cinema, which is also massively and globally known cinema, so beautiful and same. Except the audience loved at different moments. It was different, which I really love, because it's the beauty of cinema, to connect international audiences.
That's absolutely incredible. I love that you just seem like a go-getter, and I admire that. Like you have a vision and you execute it which brings me to my next question. Like,
oh yeah.
So I know you have your own your own production company. I mean, like what like made you say, you know what? Yeah, I want to start my production company.
Oh, that's good questions throughout, Meosha. That's a great question because actually, Belle Époque Film, the company you're mentioning, which is French production company, is going to be It's going to be the 8th year anniversary in January.
Woohoo!
Because I found it, which is scary actually. I can't believe it. But it's exciting because when I opened the company Belle Époque Film in January 2015, at the time we were one of the first production companies to sign the EcoProd chart in France for eco production. I was actually based in London at the time, and the reason why originally I opened the company, I felt first I was still finishing my studying, which is crazy, as I was working in TV, even more crazy. So already doing a lot of very tough weeks, and I had this opportunity to co-produce 2 short films. One was filmed on film with starring Robert Sheehan. At the time, massive because he's the lead in Misfits. Today, just as massive because he's the lead in The Umbrella Academy on Netflix.
Nice.
Genius actor. And the second one was financed by the Northern Ireland Screen. So we went and got that, which was phenomenal. This were my 2 first shorts as a producer. And I opened the company thinking, hey, I love this opportunity. Let's start this, and I'll probably close the company in 6 months or 1 year or 1 year and a half, and here we are 8 years later. Here we are on your show talking about it, and I don't know. I mean, it's okay.
It's great. That's wonderful. I love it. I love how you're like 6 months, and now it's like, wow, that's incredible. That's incredible.
Yes.
And also
you're
yeah. You're funny too. You ever done stand-up before? Stand-up?
I write rom-coms
okay,
all week,
that's
so it's having a massive impact on my mental health. It's very I think it's frightening actually, but thank you for reminding me.
No, I think it's great. I think it's wonderful. I wish I could write comedy. I don't. I think I'm funny, but I think I'm funny just, I don't know, sometimes. So you also actually are the head of a film festival, right? The one of the biggest Paris film festivals. Is that like how did that opportunity come about? And I mean, that I'm sure that's a lot of jobs that you have to balance. How do you find time for just like self?
How do I find time? I don't know actually. This is a very good question again. I have no I don't know. I think what's happening is that I live in a tiny box and I wake up and I don't know, I have a glass of wine every day and I try to cope with this world. I have no idea. I mean, I'm gonna say this. When I started, I was actually very, very lucky because I was one of the youngest employees at Gaumont, which you mentioned female filmmakers. They actually funded Alice Guy's trip to California a long time ago, at the same time as the Lumiere brothers. Wow. She was, just like the Lumiere brothers, one of the first filmmakers ever with them. Wow. She was also, she's also suspected to be the first filmmaker, director who ever filmed with African-American cast. She was all funded by Gaumont. She was filming in California. I mean, this was 19th century. We're talking about years ago.
Wow.
And there I was in charge of festival distribution, and I was also an assistant to the international sales department. So this is how things started for me. And I was very lucky because I've always, working with about 200 festivals at the time, I've always been extremely nurtured and even somehow curated by festivals. I realized how much festivals are supporting the distribution circuit and the industry and are full of discoveries. So about 5 years ago, Cannes series, actually about 6 years ago, I remember I sent my CV on LinkedIn. Haven't heard back for a year, and a year later, I probably had 5 interviews. But then I was hired to work with the incredible team at Cannes series, which is the equivalent of the TV equivalent of a Cannes Festival du Film for TV. And we there, I was in charge of kickstarting the In Development Forum, which is an initiative to make the MIP markets open to independent producers and writers, which is quite the deal, because obviously you understand Cannes can be really pricey to attend. Right. I mean, I think everyone in the industry at some point does figure that out. It's and even the accreditation. So this was 5 years ago, and the first edition, massive success.
Nice.
Was MIP Markets, and it kind of built from there. So somewhere in the back started the Paris International Film Festival. I funded the festival, and since then, I mean, we've been blessed. We have we see of the most incredible films, filmmakers, and jurors. Hosted the international premiere of Kiss the Ground with Woody Harrelson.
Very awesome.
Is now on HBO. So, but yeah, we're very excited about the upcoming edition.
Yeah, it's exciting stuff. Wow, congratulations on that and everything that you're doing. For the ones that are listening and that will hear this, I always get people that listen to the show, and they're always, they love hearing advice, and I wonder, what advice would you give to somebody that wants to, get into the industry? What does that look like? What would you say?
I would say, because this show is so amazing and this is really special, I have a feeling now it's like the best thing I've ever done. This is so much fun. I love being interviewed by you. I really do.
Oh, thank you.
It's very it's beautiful. It's very authentic. And something I want to say, I feel inspired to say today is, I think there is in France a phrase I really like, which says, speaking up is like freedom. It's not something that you give, it's something that you take. So in my eyes, I think, if you want to be successful in the film industry, there are so many avenues. I don't think I have the recipe, or I don't feel really like I can give advice to succeed. I believe that if you are in this industry, it's because you have something to say, and you are on a journey where you meet people, you meet professionals, you meet artists, and you try to share with the audience a story that is really unique. And yes, you can make many films, but every film is unique, and together they are your journey. Your audience keeps following you. You're developing a vision. You can be a director, a writer, producer, actor, same. Your audience knows you, and it's up to you to make sure that you give yourself the best chances to share a story that is really unique and makes a difference.
I love it. That's beautiful. That's great. One last question and we're done. I like to ask every guest. There's no wrong answer, I promise you. Loyalty or respect, and why?
I have to choose between loyalty or respect. That's a tough one because, wow, I mean, I will say respect, and this is why I have an explanation, because I think respect is very overrated. I believe that there has been, especially, in the past decade, I have a feeling there is this, maybe it's because of internet, I don't know, but there is this opportunity to do a lot at very limited cost. Today it's crazy, and I'm speaking with you. We're having so much fun. I'm
so
feeling
much fun.
Connection. So it's like we are very spoiled, and we are very very lucky, So I'm afraid that in this context, it's easy to take things for granted, or forget that respect is something that is just the basic of why we are living. Respect for our planet. I always want to talk about the planet, because at the end of the day, this is our home, and we just, we talked about eco-friendliness, eco-consciousness for films, and Belle Époque Film. When I started the company, I immediately signed the chart, and at the time I thought it was normal. I thought it's something you do, but then I realized, no, we were one of the first ones, and no, it's more of a concept. And now also, sadly, it's being instrumentalized at marketing promotion purposes. You can say, hey, we are eco-friendly, but no, nothing is eco-friendly. You have to be eco-conscious. It's like diversity, or like you can easily, there is something about education which is beautiful. This is what we massively support and are driven by at Paris International Film Festival. It's education. Yeah. Because it's not about just putting a word on something. It's about explaining, it's about sharing, and it's obviously it's a longer journey, but we don't want the short walk, we want the true story. So respect for our planet, and respect for everything and anything, being inclusive of everything and anything.
Love it.
Is just I believe it's urgent.
Love that.
Right?
Yeah. Yes. Great answer. Great answer. Where can people find you on social media?
Please find us, reach out. We love to hear from you. We are still open for a few more days at Paris International Film Festival. We have a really exciting mini marché coming up with ISA. You can submit your screenplay, and it does not need to be in production. Actually, this year we had screenwriters who found the producer and budget on their selection, and they submitted the film now, so it's exciting. So go for it. On the back of this success, we are developing a mini marché with Isa, and we're really excited. But you can also submit your short, your feature. We are not we do not select on genres. All genres are accepted, but we do have a focus on films with international potential and a somehow positive message behind or in front of camera, or both. And you can follow all of these great stories on Paris Intel Fest, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. On Instagram, at Jenna Suru Real, and jennasuru.com is my website, where you can also find all this Frenchy madness. Bonjour. Yeah, we always love to. We always respond, and we always love to hear from you. So
awesome. Thank you so much for coming on. It was a pleasure talking to you. We gotta definitely have you back on again. You're amazing. Thank you. Thank you.
Magnifique. Merci. Thank you.
Awesome. And thank you all for listening. And always remember to live, love, laugh. We'll see you guys soon.